YouTube. So let's. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Create new broadcast. Okay, enable comments. Comment. We are imminently.
YouTube ライブですか？はい、YouTube ライブとインスタ。あ、どっちも？はい、どっちも。そんなのができる。
Right, and should be Instagram as well.
よいしょ。待ち。Yeah, it's just a bit delayed.
Wow.
Share.
Right, I think. We have audio. There we go. Okay. Ta-da! Hello everybody! I hope everyone's doing well. So today you can see for our Brew with Obubu live, hello to our YouTube viewers, our Instagram viewers. I'm joined by some other people. Who are these strange people? Well, these are our new interns. So we have the pleasure of being able to welcome our interns back again. And we have people here from the UK. We have also America.
Texas.
And very, very far away from Mie Prefecture in Japan. So we have interns from all over the world. So just before we start brewing our tea today, if I'd be able to ask you to just introduce yourself a very small amount, that would be fantastic. So, Lourdes.
Okay. Hi everybody. My name is Lourdes. Nice to meet you. I live in the UK. I'm Spanish. Yeah.
Well done!
Hey! Spanish representation.
Nah.
I'm Marie. I'm from Austin, Texas, and I've been crazy about tea and specifically matcha for over a decade now, and so excited to be able to have the opportunity to intern with Obubu and experience the world of Japanese tea. So,
And?
Hi, I'm Saya. I'm from Kameyama, Mie Prefecture, which is known as the place with third most production of tea leaves. And I was grown up with green tea, so I'm really happy to be here with them.
Oh.
Nice to meet you.
So, Mark, hello Kyle-san. Every day, Kabaja 0304. Good morning. We've also got Taffin Laura as well. So hello. Now, of course, as always, if anyone has any questions, please don't be afraid to ask. We are watching you. So we have the comment section here we can see on Instagram. We will check YouTube as well, but that will be a little bit more periodic. So we have YouTube as well, fantastic. So if you have any questions, please don't be afraid to ask. We love to answer your questions. So because today is a very special day, we have our guests welcome back here. I thought, well, we should ask them what they wanted to brew, and of course they wanted to brew one of our highest grade teas, our most delicious teas, which is Gyokuro. So today we're going to brew some Gyokuro, and it's also discounted for the next week. So you can go to the website and you can enter what did I put? King20 at checkout with some Gyokuro, and you'll get 20% off. Now I'll put the discount code on the stream in a moment, but let's have a look at the tea. So have you guys brewed Gyokuro before? No. Never. Everybody's first Gyokuro. Wow, you are very lucky. You get to see people drinking Gyokuro for the first time. Okay. So this tea, do you know how it's harvested or processed? What do you know about Gyokuro? Gyokuro knowledge.
I know that Gyokuro is covered
Okay.
with shaded tea, so it's similar to the production of tencha or matcha in that it's covered with a tent to protect it from the sun and increase the chlorophyll content in the lungs.
Goodness, we've got a dictionary here. It's amazing. It's exactly it. So yeah, exactly, precisely. So Gyokuro has been shaded, and typically it's shaded for about 3 weeks, but ours is shaded for 4 weeks. So we have a lot of umami and a lot of deliciousness in this tea. Now, I will ask somebody to get some water and put it into the teapot so we can start cooling the water down, because that's very important. And while that happens, I'll come and show you guys the leaf. But if you want to have a little look at the leaf, actually, have a little look and see if you can have a smell as well. Did this come out of the fridge?
It did.
Okay. So it might be a little bit cold. So maybe when the tea's cold, it doesn't have as strong an aroma as room temperature. So yeah. Now, Maridon, since you're there, you're in a great position to get some water for us. So you can bring maybe the teapot over to this little area, and we have the chachaku. Have you ever used chachaku?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever used chagama?
Yes.
Right. Then you know what to do. Suruba. You just. Now, while they're doing that, let me show you the leaf we have here. So you can see this beautiful, beautiful leaf. Very dark green leaf. Okay, so as I mentioned, here is the code for 20% off this particular tea. Yeah, I think maybe one more, or yeah, one more for one. So it's quite big, this one. So we're going to cool the water down, because this tea we only want to brew about 50 degrees Celsius for the first infusion. So we want to get a low temperature to bring out more umami flavour. So we're going to have an umami party today. Thank you very much, Maridono. So we have a question already. Well, let's just say hello. Oh, hello, the tea potato. Hello, hello. Tea Potato is a wonderful person, also another tea club member, and he joins us typically every week when we do these. So
Amazing.
I hope you're well. Let's do a quick hello. Mel Kiomi, hello. Alex Carroll, hello. Pico Gavin, W Sagu, and a long number I won't say. And then Mostafa, hello. T Lurker. These names keep getting better. So there's a lot of fantastic tea names. Fauzi Helmi, hello. Nicole Hong, hello. And Alex Carroll has a question. Is shading what makes Gyokuro even better than sencha? I've noticed I get better flavour and kick from Gyokuro. Oh, Maridono. The dictionary of tea. Can you help us with that one?
Yeah, so I mean, I definitely don't know as much as George, but basically the shading, the sunlight from the sun, when it hits the leaves, it kind of stresses out the leaves. So as a result, the tea leaf produces more tannin, which gives it a more bitter taste. Whereas when you cover it from the sun, it's like a different type of stress from the tea leaf, in that it's like, oh no, I'm not going to be able to live under this low light condition. So as a result, it increases the chlorophyll content, so that it's able to then absorb, this chlorophyll content is able to absorb more sunlight. So they're both kind of like survival techniques, but it just so happens that that chlorophyll content is what makes the tea a little bit sweeter. There's less of a bitter taste. So that's my understanding of it. George, what was
I mean, the only other thing I would add to that is that catechin, the antioxidant in tea, or catechins, which are antioxidants in tea, are quite bitter. But they're formed, as Marie said, when the sunlight hits the leaf, the theanine breaks down to form catechins. So when you have theanine, which is also part of the chlorophyll production, then you have more umami and sweetness in the leaf. But after that gets hit by sunlight, that transforms into antibodies, which are the antioxidants we know and love. So yeah, that's the only thing I would add, but very good answer. So I've just poured the water into these cups, so we're going to cool the water down a little bit more. You can see maybe some of the steam coming off from them. So we want to just reduce that temperature just a little bit. The tea potato said tea farming, just different ways of torturing tea plants. Yes. Yeah. Tea farmers are the meanest people out there. Tea farmers are very, very cruel. So, and Aki-san is the worst of them all. So, yeah. So with Gyokuro, would you be able to grab me some more cups?
Yes.
Maybe 5 if there's around. Okie dokie. So everyone's sitting in Seizo. Like, if you want to not sit in Seizo, it's okay. So, and yeah. I had no idea Theony broke into catechins. Thank you. No problem at all, Alex Carroll. It's we love to share. If you've got any more questions at all, please don't be afraid to ask. In the meantime, while we're waiting for water to cool down, I'd like to know, what teas do you guys normally drink? So, Masai-chan.
Normally I drink sencha the most.
Okay.
Since when I was a child, I drink a cup of sencha with my family when we have dinner or breakfast together. Yeah, so I feel it's something close to me. Sencha.
What kind of sencha? Because there's many different kinds of sencha, right? So, is it typically shaded or unshaded? Regular sencha?
Everything. But I prefer shaded one. It's deeper.
So typically a little bit deeper, maybe sweeter. So this is a type of sencha. So perfectly takes me on to another point. So today's discount code is KING20. Why is it King? Well, Gyokuro is known as the king of sencha. So it's the highest quality sencha you can get, but it's also a type of sencha. So there are many different ways of producing this beautiful sencha and many different ways to appreciate it, but having it shaded for longer periods of time is one way to do that. So yeah, very good point. What about you, Maridono?
My cup of matcha is my morning cup of coffee every day. So some people can't start their morning without a cup of coffee. For me, it's matcha. I also just like that you can enjoy it in so many ways. There's the traditional way of having it hot as usucha, but coming from Texas, usucha can be a little hot in the summer, so I really like to be able to make like an iced matcha. It's really sweet and creamy, so you should definitely give it a try.
So I guess the big question is, what cultivar or what kind of matcha do you drink every day?
I try, because I drink so much of it. I try and be cautious of my bank. But I really like to enjoy now and then something really nice like a okumidori or samidori from Obubu. So something really high and really ceremonial grade. So.
Okay, I just have a follow-up question out of interest as part of the production side of those teas. Which do you prefer out of okumidori and samidori, and why?
I would say the okumidori. There was something about it that it was a little bit more sweeter and buttery, and I think that was perfect both for hot matcha, but I tried it iced as I usually drink it, and it just kind of took me back because I'm so used to kind of just drinking a regular matcha every day, but the okumidori was so buttery and creamy that it left a really nice aftertaste.
Arigato. Okumidori is also it is my favorite Obubu matcha as well. And fun fact about okumidori, the cultivar is designed for sencha production. So it's quite unusual to find okumidori matcha. So it's not a common cultivar to find for that. So another reason why Obubu is great because it does crazy things. So, and the question has been, what tea do you normally, drink every day? What's your kind of everyday drink?
I'm going to sound very basic because I'm not as experienced as these two lovely ladies. What do I like to drink? I think I would agree with Mari in regards of I prefer matcha much more than coffee because the theanine, caffeine kick is not as strong with coffee, and also it gives you that alertness through the day that it helps me a lot. And also, so you were saying your favorite tea, the matcha tea, is that the one I've tried this morning?
Oh, that one, the other one they tried this morning was the organic.
Oh, that was really nice. Yes. It depends how I feel. At the moment, as I was saying, I like for example, kukicha because it's nice to be. I like to brew it cold, and or maybe sometimes I just have a teapot in front of me and just keep drinking it, just because it's got less theanine content and it's a nice all-round tea. I just really I'm into that.
My kukicha is also a very interesting tea.
Yeah.
So do you know which kukicha it is?
It's a kukicha, I believe, is from Shizuoka Prefecture.
Not a Obubu tea?
No, sorry about that. I am.
It's okay.
Yes.
We love tea from everywhere. I drink a lot of Taiwanese tea.
Yeah, I know. I deserve.
No. Is it a roasted kukicha?
No.
Unroasted.
Unroasted kukicha.
Interesting. You can get a few different kinds of like kukicha, because you can also get karagane, which is from Gyokuro. So you can get slightly different flavors depending on.
Yeah, it's not karagane.
No.
No.
Okay.
No.
So this will probably be more from matcha production, then. So typically a bit sweeter. So very tasty tea.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
So I believe the water should have cooled down enough. Now, if everyone wants to take a cup and just feel the temperature.
Okay.
And
arigato.
Of course, you have a cup as well, so please feel what the temperature's like from home. So this is quite cool now. So this is not so hot. So we're going to use this water to brew with, and when we do that, I'll come and grab the camera so you can see the brewing. But if everyone wants to put some of the water into the pot and also sort of move it around in a circular motion, that would be great. I'll come and grab
Do we
camera.
pour the one for the viewers as well?
Yeah, if you could, that would be fantastic.
I can smell it already.
Beautiful tea.
Now I have to.
So, very, very beautiful tea. And we'll be able to see the colour change a little bit as it's brewing. Now, normally we say to wait for 90 seconds, which is the same as this timer. But I think today we'll just play it by ear and we'll have a look at how it goes. Because just being able to judge the leaf in itself is a very important thing. What the tea potato says, kukicha is amazing. Yes, definitely agree.
Thank you.
And on the production side, is there any additional steps done to make it gyokuro aside from the length of the shading? Good question. So typically gyokuro needs a little bit more fertilizer because it needs a lot of nitrogen to be able to produce the more theanine. So there tends to be a little bit more nitrogen, but of course there are organic gyokuros. We also have our natural gyokuro in the store, which doesn't have any fertilizers or pesticides, and it will be an organic field from next year, so we're very excited about that. But that's being shaded currently, so that's that tea. But this is a conventionally produced one, and this is just another way of enjoying it. So they do have very different flavours depending on how it's produced. So it just depends. It just depends. My
Depends.
least favourite answer for answering questions because you never quite know. So let's have a little pour of the tea. Now when you're pouring Gyokuro or something like this especially, it's always good to pour very little bit at a time. So hold on, let me just move the cups. So Come again? So this is going to be, I hope you guys are ready because you said you had your morning matcha, but this is going to be a kick.
Nice.
So this is going to be very strong.
Good.
So we use quite a lot of leaf and not much water, and that means it's a very special occasion today when we have a deeper brew of the matcha, or of the Gyokuro. The tea potato says thank you very much. No problem at all, tea potato, anytime, you know that. We love the tea potato.
I love that nickname.
That's a cool name.
Yeah.
Very cool name.
Yeah.
Fun fact about the tea potato, he loves kyobancha.
Does he?
Yeah,
Ooh.
another very tasty tea. Okay, so Saya-chan, if you'd be able to hold this over here, that would be great. And we'll come round if everyone wants to take a cup as well.
Yes.
Check it out.
It's a really nice deep green.
So there. Okay, arigato. So I believe this particular one was harvested, I think, in the rain last year.
Mm.
So when it gets a little bit rainy, it means that we're going to have a bit more cloudiness in the tea. So if it looks a little bit more cloudy, and today you can see it's a bit cloudier. So this one was harvested in the rain, and the reason why it's like that is because I think it had a slightly deeper steaming. So this slightly deeper steaming means that there's more of the particles are broken down in the leaf. So when you infuse, it's typically a bit cloudier. So when you deep steaming teas, like a lot of Kagoshima teas, they are typically deep steamed. So for example, the tamariokucha we have in store is very sort of soupy. It looks very green, but it's very opaque. And this is because of the deep steaming. So let's drink. Itadakimasu.
Itadakimasu.
Wow!
Whoa.
Oh,
Wow.
that's Gyokuro. Good
Wow.
morning, everyone. So that's very strong, but there's a lot of different things going on there. You can definitely taste the umami.
Taste.
So a lot of umami, but there is something at the back of the tongue which is a little bit sharp as well. So very, very interesting. So is this everyone's first Gyokuro?
Yes.
Hondo.
Thank you, man.
What
Would
do you
I
think?
say? Has it got like a buttery flavor? Like it's just when I tasted it, it was very buttery, like
Yeah.
slit.
So
It's nice.
very
it's
thick tea.
Yeah. It's very nice.
What do you think, Maridono?
It doesn't have that typical kind of bitterness that sencha has. Like
all
it's
in there.
just the umami.
Yeah.
And I agree with Lou that it's really thick. Like there's something about it. Like it's not a thin tea.
No,
There's
that's for sure.
substance to it.
It's a thick tea. So this one, I would also say, it is a thick tea, but it also depends on how you brew it. So we are probably going to do a second infusion. Of course, we will do a second infusion, but whether it will be on stream or not, I think it will be. And we'll brew with a much hotter temperature, and it will be a very different tea. But Sai-chan, what did you think of the first infusion?
なんだろう。Yeah, it's really strong. And I felt the heaviness on my tongue.
Yeah.
And I felt like I'm tasting a dashi,
おー、
the
そう
Japanese
だね。
traditional broth.
ね。
Yeah.
So dashi, for those of you at home, dashi, まあ、Sai-chan.
Japanese traditional
Dashi.
stock
Yeah.
or broth.
そうだね。まあ、traditionally has まあ、昆布 plus まあ、昆布 plus other things like maybe dried shiitake or katsuobushi, which are the very thin flakes of katsuo は何ですか?
Bonito flakes.
Bonito. Thank you
Bonito
very much.
flakes.
So bonito flakes, which sometimes you see on okonomiyaki, the ones that are moving or dancing. So you use all the lots of different dried foods to make a very delicious sort of base stock, and yeah, it has a very specific umami flavor. That umami, the magical flavor we have in Japan. So, まあ、ありがとう. So, you like it? まあ、よかったね. Quite a lot of leaf. So we've got a beautiful tea there. So we're going to just quickly jump into some questions very quickly. So actually, while we do that, Maridon, would you be able to grab me some more hot water?
Yeah.
So we have the tea potato said. That could be like Simon says. How's the weather been for this year? This year for the tea? Well, the good news is there's not been any frost. So no frost. So all the tea leaves are intact and have not been ruined, which is always nice. The other thing which has been said by the farmers is that because of the warmer temperature that's been very consistent, and the rains that came for about 2 different week-long periods, that all the leaf is growing quite quickly and at almost the same rate. So the difference between the cultivars in terms of grow time is a little bit less. So it's that's been a bit tricky for management in terms of harvesting. So yeah, so I hope that answers your question. Alex says, traditionally did tea require to be cycled with different crops each season? I know different crops require different minerals, some add or remove nitrogen to the soil, etc. So the answer is no, because tea has to be grown for at least, well, I say at least, around 5 years, 3 to 5 years, before you can do a proper first harvest. So some of our tea gardens are older than 60 years old. So this is something that can't be rotated each time. But what we add back into the soil can change. So there's a lot of different plants that grow naturally around Wazuka, which farmers also spend some time adding back into the soil to help improve the nutrients in the soil. Then Alex says, when I think of tea, I think fields that are just constantly growing tea and nothing else, where some farmers might grow corn one year and beans the next. Yeah, you're exactly right. So your answers perfectly answered your own question. So we only have one crop each year. So it's tea, because we love tea. So, hello, cha no ne. So we're going to brew a second infusion quickly. And when I say quickly, I do mean quickly, because we're only going to brew for a few seconds. The leaf has already opened up, and we've got some very hot water that Maddie very kindly got for us. This is about, maybe 85 to 90 degrees Celsius, so something like that. So we're going to brew very quickly. So I'm just going to pour the water in, and pour the spare water out, and then straight out.
Oh, look at that colour.
Yeah. So as the leaf had already opened up from the first infusion, it's got a bigger surface area, so it's going to infuse more quickly than the first infusion. And it's hotter, so that extra heat is going to pull more out of the leaf as well. Oh, T Reed says, I came in a bit late. What are we brewing today? Today is Gyokuro. So, well, we have saved you a cup of tea. Please feel free to drink. Tea Reeds, please enjoy. We've just brewed our second infusion. So, yeah, how are we doing on that? Have we got...
Just one view.
Yeah. Well, if you want to come over to YouTube from here, please feel free. If you're on Instagram, but no pressure. Now, let me just do a little boy. So this is going to be very hot. So please be careful, everybody.
Lots of hearts.
Nah, that's probably Kayo-san. Kayo-san is our biggest fan. So, go for it. Itadakimasu. Oishii, yeah. My second infusion has, it looks, you can see there's a slight colour difference. This one's a bit brighter. The first infusion is much darker and looks more scary. But the second infusion has a lot more vibrant green. And also the flavour itself is a little bit less intense, but still has a lot of the delicious flavours to be found in the first as well. So, do we have a preference? First infusion, second infusion? Second?
Me too.
On top?
I prefer second.
I like the first one because it was such a shock.
No.
Right? Because you're expecting it to taste like a sencha, but it's totally different. And it felt like I was drinking a sencha version of matcha, which if you think about it, that's kind of what Gyokuro is, because it's made similar to how matcha is made in the shading process.
Very good answer. And I would say that the first infusion, if you've never had oh my goodness, this is umami. Like if you don't have that experience before of knowing what umami is, then a tea like this can open that world of flavour for you because it's so easy to access. So this tea can be used, we actually had a chef a few years ago called Kai Masuchika, very nice guy, and he used Gyokuro in some of his cooking, and that was very tasty. Very expensive dish, and we thoroughly enjoyed it at an intern meeting one day. But it was, it has a very specific flavour, and that comes from cultivation. So I think it's a great way, like you said, to experience something that's almost like matcha, but in sencha form. And to experience the different flavours is a really unique thing. So yeah. Okay, fantastic. Well, I think from here, of course, we have to do our last part of today's Brew the Obubu Live, which is what is the weather in Wazuka today. So we have to go and have a little look. So bear with us, and we shall show you Aki-san by the factory. Let me find a good view. Oi. Okay. So you can see the lush green we have around. And you can see Aki-san just chilling on the side of the factory. You can see spring is on the way. Spring is coming. And it's been a little bit rainy the last couple of days. We did some processing yesterday morning of Aoi Moricha Batake, the Blue Forest Tea Garden, and that was by myself. And it was a very, very slow process because it was a rainy day, but it made some pretty tasty tea, I hope, and we're going to taste it a little bit later today. But very interesting tea. We have a question on YouTube. Hello, Bun1B. Hi, I'm from Thailand. I am a tea farmer. Your video that opened my world of tea. Thank you so much.
You're
Well,
very
we
welcome.
love tea. Please, well, send us photos or something of your tea farm. We want to connect with tea farmers around the world, so that would be very interesting to see. But thank you very much for your kind words, and we hope you're having a lovely day. So yeah, so I think that brings today to a close. And from everyone here, we hope you have a lovely day and enjoy some delicious Japanese tea wherever you may be. And you see, Chrome's crashing it. This is why the wireless is good. So yeah, まあ、ありがとうございます、皆さん。またねー。
ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。バイ。
バイバイ。